Hi Sam. I'm glad you're here today. We're going to learn a new word.
Grenze.
Hi Alex. That sounds interesting. What does
Grenze,
mean?
Grenze.
Means
Border. Boundary.
the most common usage is in the context of geographical borders, but it can also refer to limits or boundaries in a more abstract sense. Just be careful, as it might sound similar to the English word,
Grenze.
which doesn't exist.
So, when would I use
Grenze,
in a sentence?
Great question. Let's look at the grammar.
Grenze.
Is a feminine noun, so it uses the article.
Die.
The plural form is.
Grenzen.
You might say,
Die Grenze zwischen Deutschland und Österreich ist schön.
which means,
The border between Germany and Austria is beautiful.
Got it. What about the past tense?
in the past tense, you could say,
Die Grenze war hoch.
meaning,
The border was high.
in the perfect, you'd say,
Die Grenze ist gefallen.
meaning,
The border has fallen.
here, you use,
Ist
plus the past participle.
gefallen.
That's interesting. Where does the word
Grenze,
come from?
Grenze.
Has its roots in Old High German, where it was.
Grenzi.
It has evolved over time but has always held the meaning related to boundaries. This connection to limits is fascinating.
I never knew that. It sounds like a word with a long history.
Absolutely. Words like
Grenze.
tell us so much about culture and history through their evolution.
Can you break down the word
Grenze,
for me?
Sure. The root is,
Grenz.
and it doesn't have a prefix or a suffix. It stands alone, meaning,
To separate. To delineate.
so, you can think of it as the idea of separating two areas.
That makes sense. Are there other words that are similar?
Yes. For example, words with the same root include
Grenzen.
boundaries,
Grenzgebiet.
border area, and
Grenzkontrolle.
border control. There are also words like
abgrenzen,
which means
to define,
and
eingrenzen,
which means
to limit.
Wow, that's quite a few. Do you have more examples?
of course. Here are more.
Umgrenzung,
Circumference,
Grenzwerte,
limit values, and
Grenzeinrichtungen.
border facilities. Each word builds on the idea of boundaries or limits.
That's really helpful.
Now, let's practice using
Grenze,
in real-life situations. Imagine you're talking about a border crossing. You could start with
ich möchte die Grenze überqueren.
which means
I want to cross the border.
Okay, let me try.
Ich möchte die Grenze sehen.
that's close. You'd say
Ich möchte die Grenze sehen.
meaning
I want to see the border.
What's another situation?
think about discussing limits in a meeting. You could say
Wir müssen die Grenzen unserer Ressourcen beachten.
which means
We need to observe the limits of our resources.
I'll give it a shot.
Wir müssen die Grenze der Zeit beachten.
very close. It should be
Wir müssen die Grenzen der Zeit beachten.
to mean
We need to observe the limits of time.
Got it. What's a final situation?
if you're talking with a friend about personal boundaries, you might say
Jeder hat seine eigenen Grenzen.
which means
Everyone has their own boundaries.
I'll try that.
Jeder hat seine Grenze.
good attempt, but remember to use the plural.
Jeder hat seine eigenen Grenzen.
I like that. How can I remember the gender of
Grenze.
Since
Grenze.
is feminine, you can think of it as a protective barrier, like a mother protecting her children. The ending often indicates feminine nouns in German.
That's a fun way to remember it.
For usage notes,
Grenze.
is typically used in both formal and informal contexts. Common phrases include
An der Grenze.
at the border,
Die Grenze überschreiten.
to cross the border, and
Grenzen setzen.
to set limits. Just be careful not to confuse it with similar sounding words like
Gräbchen.
which means
Little grave.
Thanks for the tips. Can you give me some example sentences using
Grenze.
sure. Here are a few.
Die Grenze ist klar definiert.
Means
The border is clearly defined.
another one is
Ich habe meine Grenzen erreicht.
meaning
I have reached my limits.
and you might say,
Wir haben die Grenze überschritten.
meaning,
We have crossed the border.
Those are great examples.
let's do a quick recall check. What is the plural form of?
Grenze.
It's
Grenzen.
Correct. How do you say?
To cross the border.
Die Grenze überqueren.
Good. What is the gender of?
Grenze.
It's feminine.
Right again. Can you give an example of a word with the same root?
Grenzkontrolle.
Perfect. Last question. What's the past participle of?
Fallen.
In the context of borders.
Gefallen.
Excellent job, Sam. So, today we learned that
Grenze.
means
Border. Boundary.
it's feminine and it has interesting historical roots. You did really well.
Thank you, Alex. I feel more confident using
Grenze.
now.
That's fantastic to hear. Keep practicing, and see you next time.